Hello everyone, today in this video I want to show you how to pass a parameter between different bottom sheets. This is going to work also between different screens. So for this example I want to show you how I achieve this using Flutterflow and Supabase. So you can edit the task, put whatever number or text you want, save it, and yeah, the change is showing in the element. Okay, so we are here in the home screen, and as a first step we need to pass the parameter to the first bottom sheet from this icon. Okay, so how we do that? First we need to add the actions. Let's open the action flow editor and let's add the first action. And what will be that action? We need to open the bottom sheet. Okay, now the display component is the first bottom sheet called more task. Perfect. Okay, so now what we do next? We need to pass the parameter from that task to the bottom sheet. So you see here that we have that option, but it's empty. So if we click here, this takes us to the next bottom sheet, and now we can create the parameter within this component right here. Okay, so let's call it current task, because it's the parameter from the current task, from the current row of the task. And this is really important. So what is the data type from that parameter? It's called Supabase row. Okay, so let's click it, and what's the table name? Task. And that will be all. Perfect. Okay, now you see that we have here a new option. It's called pass, and this is going to open the parameter from the bottom sheet, and now we can add the variable that we want to pass. Okay, so let's select this, and you see here current task. That is the parameter from the bottom sheet. So let's open this, and you see that the current task is unset. So let's select the variable that we want to pass. Okay, and as a first option we have task row, and that's what we want, because right here this is one row from the table, from the task table. Okay, so let's open this, and we have only one option, Supabase row. So let's click it, and we have by default no further changes, and this is the correct one, because we only want to pass the whole information from this row. Okay, we don't want to pass a field, we want to pass the whole data. After that we can choose what field we want to take, but right now we only need no further changes. Confirm, and that's all. Okay, that's the first step. As the next step, we go to more task, and right now we are passing the row, the data from that row as a parameter to this bottom sheet, and you can see right here. Okay, you can see it right here. Then after that, if we tap here, we want to pass again the current parameter to the next bottom sheet. So how we do that? It's exactly the same, but with a small change. Let's open this. Okay, I have some remaining actions from the previous work, so I'm going to delete this. And okay, so let's open the action flow again. For this, as a first action, we need again to open the next bottom sheet. And what is that one? It's called edit task. Okay? And again, we don't have any parameters here. So let's select one. Let's create a parameter. Let's call it again current task. That is the current task that we are passing. And again, data type is a Supabase row. Table name, task. And that's all. This takes me again to the home, but no, I want to go to the current bottom sheet that I'm working on. So, okay, let's see. We have the first step, and again, it's empty. So now I want to tell what parameter I want to pass. Again, current task, let's open it, current task. Now you see that we have a new option here. This is called current task. As you can imagine, this is the task, or this is the parameter that we currently have in this bottom sheet. So I want to pass this parameter to the next bottom sheet. So let's select it. Okay. Again, no further changes. I can get a Supabase row field, but we don't want that. We want to pass the whole row. Okay, confirm. That's all. As the next action, we have now two bottom sheets open, and we don't want that. So let's add a new action, and now I want to hide the bottom sheet, the current bottom sheet that I have open, that is called more task. Okay, so again, let's go to bottom sheet, but I want to dismiss the current one because now I'm showing the next bottom sheet. So let's select dismiss. That's the whole thing. Now we have ready this flow. Now let's go to the last one, edit task. Okay, so first I want to pass the current information from the current parameter that I have in this bottom sheet that I sent from the previous one. And let's do that. Okay, so in this field, I want that initial value, I wanted to take it from the variable. Let's remove it because I have this from the previous work. Okay, so yeah, let's set this from the current parameter that I have right here that is called current task. So the initial value is from current task. And what's the field? You remember that we have the whole row here, so we can choose from any of the fields that we have in that table. And I want to take title. That's all. And from description, again, is the description from the row. Confirm it, and that's all. Okay, so as a last step, I want to save the task. Okay, so let's do that. That's an action. And as a first action, I want to take title and description from this bottom sheet and update the current task, the current Supabase row. Okay, and how we do that? Let's look for Supabase update row, and what's the table task, and now we need to match the rows because we have one of the rows, but is tell me what is the row that I want to update. Okay, so this is real simple. Let's select the ID because this is the unique identification from each row. So I take the field name ID from the row, and what's the relation here? I want it to equal to a variable. And what's the variable? Remember that we have here the current task. So it's the current task ID. Perfect. Okay, now let's set the fields. The first one is title. So where do we get that value? We want it from a variable. And that's a variable from the field called title, this one. So you can see that right here is the name of the field. So let's do it. Okay, so title comes from a variable from a widget state, that is the field, and it's called text field title. Okay, the same thing for description. So select a variable, go to widget state, description, and that will be all. Okay, perfect. So if we test this, we can see that it is working, and that's the way how you connect the parameter between different pages or between different components from a Supabase row. I hope you like it. Please let me know in the comments what other content or what questions do you have about Supabase and Flutterflow, and I will be happy to give you an answer or make a video about it. See you next time.